Last year, operating performance in terms of EBITDA, it's up by 43% on a year-on-year basis. But the bottom line is something where the company took a hit, and seems like that's not working down well with the street, and that is why we're seeing a decline of around 3.5% in the stock today.
All right, let's get a move on then and discuss stock number 18 then. And Ashish, SRF, why is this one standing out? What's your view as to where the stock could potentially be headed from the current levels?
See, SRF had been in a downtrend for some time, but recently it formed a very important low near that 2100 mark, formed multiple supports there, and it's a very important price action area. So looks like it is possibly reversing that entire trend on the downside which was there, and now should move up towards the level of 2400, which is the first 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of the down. So 2400 is the target for SRF. On the downside, the support for the stock is at 2150 level.
That's certainly a newsmaker in today's trading session, and that's largely on the back of the fact that the company has signed a contract with the Ministry of Defence. This is for the procurement of 41 indigenous modular bridges. The contract's estimated cost is worth over 2,585 crore rupees. They're being designed and developed by the DRDO but produced by L&T, and the management as well. We spoke to them today on the show, and they said that they are confident that they are going to double their order book over the next 2 years when it comes to defense. They're also confident that going forward there are going to be lots of other big orders in the pipeline. They should hopefully provide the completion of this order before the time schedule, and this is going to come in as a huge shot in the arm for L&T Defence, which the order book currently stands at about 14,000 crores. So watch out for that stock in today's trading session. 2148, that's where the stock is currently at in today's trading session.
Let's move on to the next one. And Ashish, L&T Finance, this is almost near its 52-week high levels. Do you think it's reaching there anytime soon? And what is your target you're keeping for this one?
See, if you look at the entire financial services space and NBFC space, L&T Finance holdings have done exceptionally well. If you compare that with Indiabulls Housing Finance, or if you look at Bajaj Finance, there is a huge difference between the stock performance, and I think L&T Finance stands outperforming over here, and we can move towards the target of 105, which is the 52-week high. So 105 is the target for L&T Finance. On the downside, the important support for the stock is at 90 rupees. So as long as this is intact, I think the outperformance can continue here.
As 5.6%, but right now it's up about 4%. It had hit its highest level since January 9, and the intraday gain was the most since January 4th. The company reported a 57.4% jump in their quarterly profit, coming in at around 170 crore rupees. They've said that their asset quality has improved, with the gross NPS falling to 3.63% from 4.61% a year ago. The stock is on track to close above its 50, 100 as well as 200 DMA levels, and there you go, 4% uptick for Equitas Small Finance Bank on set of good numbers and asset quality improvement.
All right, let's shift gears then to telecom at number 26, and Bharti Airtel, at least the fundamental analysts seem to be pretty gung-ho, Ashish, on this stock. Let's understand the technicals better then, and do you believe that even at 767, it's a good buying opportunity?
See, I would like to differ as of now. If you look at Bharti Airtel, there is a huge hurdle at 795 from where the stock has moved down. Even today it is down, and the support for the stock comes to around 740 on the downside. So I think there can be some short-term pressure on this stock, and it can move towards that 740 level. So short-term it can be sell, but from the medium to long-term perspective, that will be an opportunity to enter the stock. So in a nutshell, as of now, there is pressure on the upside. 790 is a major hurdle. Target is at around 740 level.
Yeah, that's the view coming in on Bharti Airtel. But on the
now, the company delivered a revenue growth of about 53.7% to come in at 2,303 crore rupees. The net profit as well was pretty healthy at 167 crores versus 140 crores, and strong EBITDA at 323 crores, although margins contracted this time around to 14% versus about 18.2% last year. The gross margins contracted as well. The fall in gross margins was led by the higher Zudio sales mix and the limited price hike, largely on account of inflationary pressure. There's been strong like-to-like growth over Q3 for Westside. The company has added new stores. The PAT contribution by JV and Associates, which includes Star, Zara and Massimo Dutti, has been seen for the third consecutive quarter. DM Capital has their view out on trend. They've upgraded the stock to buy from neutral with a target price at 1661, saying that the inventory, saying that the strong LTL growth has been supported by higher inventory. The stock holding out very comfortably in trade, a solid 7%.
Okay, that's on numbers, but Ashish, how are the charts looking like for this one? What is your target price then you're keeping for here?
See, on the trends, we got a very strong breakout on the upside. There is a moving average crossover also that has happened. The volumes have been substantially higher today on the back of the news, but it looks like the trend has reversed on the upside as of now. Any dip towards the level of 1310, 1300 can be used as a buying opportunity, keeping the gap area of 1250 as the stop loss and expecting a target of 1460 on the upside.
All right, that is the view coming in on trend, both fundamental as well as on the technical side.
Stock in the spotlight, and that is IEX. Ashish, how are the charts trending?
See, IEX has corrected very sharply, and even today it is showing some bearish pattern formation on the candlestick chart. And I think there is a very major hurdle for it around 141. So as long as 141 is intact, I think the stock can retest its lows at 128. So as of now, there is a selling opportunity for the target of 128 in IEX.
Okay. The next one, Ashesha, Hindalco will be reporting its numbers today. What are we expecting here?
Time around, we are expecting muted set of numbers. Lower realizations are expected to impact numbers this quarter. Remember, aluminium prices declined by nearly 2 to 3% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, and that's the reason we are expecting realizations to come down on a sequential basis. As far as numbers are concerned, standalone revenue is expected to increase a tad bit by about 1 to 2% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, while margins are expected to come in at about 7.9%. Remember, Novelis, which is Hindalco's wholly owned subsidiary, reported its numbers a couple of days ago. The numbers were much weaker than what the street was working with. Revenues declined due to a fall in aluminium prices that we saw in the quarter gone by, while adjusted EBITDA per ton declined because of higher energy costs that we saw. All in all, for Hindalco as well, we are expecting weak set of numbers this time.
Okay. Moving on to the next one, an earnings candidate, Gati reported its numbers. When you look at the revenue, yes, we are seeing a growth coming in. That 141 crores is what the revenue stood at. But on the bottom line, we're seeing a loss coming in of 5 crores versus a profit last year of 5 crores. In terms of the operating performance, a growth in terms of EBITDA, 36% growth on a year-on-year basis. Margin seeing a side bit of an expansion coming in there, 4.42 crores versus 3.9 crores. But surely, bottom line was a loss coming in, and that is what is not going down well, with the street stock is down 6%.
All right, let's get a move on then. And clearly, new age tech is all the rage. Let's pull up Paytm, because while that stock has seen a smart recovery over the past many trading days, largely on account of its profitability, there's the latest positive note after Macquarie. Now it's come out from Citi. They maintained a buy with the target price at 1,061, saying that the Jan 23rd update has been very strong. There's also an improved profitability outlook, which is a great trigger. The company, the brokerage has opened a 90-day positive catalyst watch, saying that strong growth momentum and engagement trends in the platform and payment platform continue. They expect operating profitability, which was demonstrated by the recent numbers, that has been pretty strong, and they expect continued expansion in the adjusted EBITDA and EBITDA margins as well, EBIT margins in the coming quarters. No wonder then that the stock is up and away in today's trade at the highest point of the trading session as we speak at 7:26.
All right, Ashish, talking about Paytm then, and that is what the brokerages have to say. All of them are coming out and giving a thumbs up to this one. Are you also doing the same?
Yes, indeed, because we have seen a very strong rise. The momentum is picking up here. The volumes have been good, and the target for this stock is at 850. So I would suggest to use dips as a buying opportunity. It has already run up little overbought. So any dip towards the level of 700, 710, use that as a buying opportunity with 650 as a stop and target of 850 level.
All right, let's